We're progressing, ladies. We're progressing. Right, we're going to talk about goals this week. So, without your goals, you are purposeless. Purposeless, ladies. Purposeless. Or in my view, you're focusless. Is that a word? Focusless.
Definitely.
Good.
It is now.
Yeah. So, and by committing your goals to paper, for some reason, it has some sort of unconscious intention, I suppose, by writing them down. And they've done studies where Harvard students, like 3% of them, wrote down all their goals, and they followed up with them, I think 5 years later. And the 3 that had done all their goals, have I got an echo? Daniela's here, right? Manaz is here. Daniela,
I'm here. Hi.
We're all here. We're all here. We've just started, ladies. So we're talking about goals, and without your goals, you're purposeless or focusless. So yeah, the 3% that did actually write down their goals, when they followed up with them, they were much more happier, they were more fulfilled, and they had much more money than all the other 97%. So we need to be writing down our goals and doing them every day, feeling into them. So just that 10 minutes a day, even if you do it when you're out walking or whatever if you haven't got time to sit and meditate and think about them and dream, then do it when you're walking or doing the ironing or doing your teeth, or there's times that you're doing mundane things that you don't actually have to think about, and you could be daydreaming about how wonderful it would be to have, I choose the end result of whatever your dream is. So write them down and memorize them. And so basically your goals, I want to just speak about goals, because people think that when they set their goals, they need to set things that they can see themselves achieving, and that's not the purpose of our goals. We don't want to be setting goals that we can see ourselves achieving, because we're not getting out of our comfort zone then, are we? We're just staying safe. And really, your job is not to know the why or the how, really, of how you're going to achieve that. But so just dream about what you would really love and write that down. And the whole purpose of the goal isn't, so the big onus isn't whether you achieve it or not. The big purpose of it really is you would need to step into that person of who you want to become. So if you want to be, a big business manager, or Alice, a holistic dynasty owner, or Emma's going to have a big, huge franchise of all our moss things. If you want to do that, then you've got to step into the person you need to become. And that's what our goals are for. So it's not really that important whether we achieve them, but we're pushing ourselves forward each time. We're growing, we're taking steps towards becoming who we want to become. So just don't play too safe and don't worry about the how, because the universe often will take care of the how for us. We often don't know the how. We've just got to put our faith and trust that it's coming to us, should we feel that it's there for us. And that's the most important thing. So working on your worth, your self-worth, working on yourself is really important each and every day, that we're taking steps towards feeling that we deserve all that we're asking for. Is super important. And just try not to be beating yourself up if you don't get this or you don't get that, or you're not doing whatever. Don't be beating yourself up, and be really aware of the self-talk. So important. that, you know, you're not telling yourself you're a silly bugger or whatever, or worse. And when you look in the, yeah, Louisa.
I have a question for you, because I think it's really important that we think about this. Is the discerning the difference between listening to the head, your head talking to you, and being in your awareness. It's important to understand that your mind, because it's used to controlling you, can deter you and detour you, detour you, basically around the
Detour you
mountains,
very
and
much.
discerning the difference between listening to that as opposed to being fully in your awareness when you are making decisions, conscious decisions for what you want to do. Because it's all well and good programming ourselves into a regime of what you have to do, but hand in hand with what you're saying, step into the awareness of what you're doing.
Yeah, and being aware of the mind monkeys and where all that programming's coming from, for sure. All the
How much do you think that's interfering with our progress, Jackie?
It depends on where your focus is. If you're focused on your intention and what you want, then the mind monkeys will come in. But if you're working on yourself all the time, then you're going to be aware of, right, okay, oh, right, there, that's my program again.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's really hard. I mean, I found in my experience, and this is I just want to tell you this because I can be extremely focused about what I want and have a full-on regime, and then all of a sudden it comes along and like a karate chop takes you out of the kneecaps. But it's so well installed inside of me about jeopardizing my best possibilities or creating some drama and discerning the difference between where this is coming from, because on some level you're kind of attracting the same programs
You
to
are,
you're
yeah, all the
fabricating.
time. All the time you're attracting the same stuff, but it's recognizing the program and thinking, right, that's this again. And yes, it might knock you off your horse for a little bit, but it's a case of, right, okay, I'm feeling a wee bit wobbly from whatever's happened, but recognizing that that's your program. This is what's happening over and over and over again, and being aware of it and deciding, right, no, I'm focused. My focus is on this, and this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing, and get back and take action
It's
toward
I
toward
just can't exactly, and I don't mean to off track you at all, but I must say sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees because of the programs.
Mm.
You know, everything you try, people are trying for manifesting this and manifesting that, have every good intention, and along comes the little sabotage program and takes out the kneecaps. What advice can you give for people who are going round and round and round in their own programs and problems?
Ask yourself, is what I'm putting out there in my emotions, in my thoughts, is that what I want? Because by putting those out there, you're only going to get more of it back.
Sorry, just reiterate that question.
Well, if you're well, give me an example of what might throw you off your
diet, for example.
Diet, right?
So let's just say I want to be healthy and eating plans. I'm all focused. I'm really, really focused. I've been doing like really well for a whole week, doing my regime, eating healthy, doing exercise that I've allocated myself, not in order not to take out my own kneecaps. But come the end of the week, I weigh myself and my weight hasn't shifted a single iota. And I couldn't be more strict and online. And then my programs kick in and go, oh, there you go. Why the hell are you even trying? And you go and eat some chocolate.
Right.
So how to discern the difference between those?
Well, I mean, but the scales moving a kilo or whatever is
No, nothing.
no, but what I'm saying is you can weigh yourself in the morning, weigh yourself in the evening, and you can be 2 kilos of a difference. So by letting something small like that knock you off your thing right away, then, you know, if you've been at it a month and you've nothing lost, then right, okay, I'm doing something wrong, something's not right. But just recognizing, right, I'm eating chocolate, right, okay, I've eaten the chocolate. Do I carry on eating the chocolate because, or do I get back on my diet again? It's where's your focus? You know
The
what I mean?
focus is the sabotage program going all or
Yeah,
nothing. I
yeah,
make all of this effort and I make it very conditional. So the condition is that I have a, if I don't lose weight, you know, then what am I doing wrong and why am I even making any effort? So this is a sabotage program, no?
it is, and we all have them.
Yes,
So,
it could
and then
be.
also,
May I interject?
Sorry?
May I interject here?
Sure, we won't get much
first-
training tonight, ladies.
Sorry, for Elisa, first of all, her voice is so dreamy. I wish she would do some meditation videos or recording. It's very, very soft and pleasing. But
Thank you.
just to give you my little perspective, I usually try not to think about it. I think that has been my style, that the more I weighed and checked for my little thing, I seem to give the power to the fact that I was not losing. So I just let it go and then try to be as regimented and think about, like the way Jackie has said, the end result. I would focus on that.
And feeling good, how you're feeling healthier than feeling.
Yeah, so being in the positive kind of helps you be more successful. You fall into the feeling of being not successful. You keep getting not successful. At least that's how I think.
Thank
So-
you. Thank
think-
you.
I think even with it being tied up to numbers, like one of the things that, you know, that choose the end result, like one of the things you always tell us, Jackie, is to make it about the feeling.
Yeah.
And so if you're
How
saying,
good
hey,
is
I would,
how good is the end result feeling, and get into that when you're feeling
Yeah.
really down and rubbish and you've eaten
I
the
think if
chocolate.
you're, but it's the same with money, right? Like if you're saying like, oh, I want to make X amount of money, that never works.
No, it's the feeling.
Whereas
of-
if you manifest the feeling that X amount of money would bring you, then
Yeah.
suddenly it works. But I think that you measure that success, but by the degree to which you have cultivated that feeling, rather than the number in your bank account or the number on your scales, because
Yeah.
that takes it out of that feeling place.
yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Thank
So
you.
step
ladies.
into the end result of feeling vibrant and happy and energetic and healthy, and go with all that high vibe feelings of how good it's going to feel when you've reached your end result of whatever weight it is you want. And trying, you know, when
Even
you're
not
not
saying, sorry, but not even saying like whatever weight you want, but how is it that you want to feel?
yeah,
Okay.
full of
Perfect.
energy, full of vitality,
Okay.
feeling wonderful. And
Thank you.
chocolate does it only for a minute. Right, I'm going to try and get a bit of this training done. So yeah, we're talking about beating ourselves up and the self-talk. So just recognize it when it comes up, the self-talk, the self-sabotage, recognize it for what it is. It's one of your programs. Is this what I want to attract? Because that's what I'm putting out, and that's what I'm going to get more back of. If I'm going to feel down and oh God, I'm new, then you're just going to get more things that will make you feel like that. So is that what you want? No, it's not. So let's just try and change it. And being grateful for the bodies that we do have. Our bodies do such a fabulous job, and we're always, oh god, my bum's fat, or oh, my belly's fat, or oh god, I've got a pimple on my wrinkles. And if we actually sat and thought about what our bodies do for us, it's amazing. Like every second there's like 500 chemical processes going on in our bodies through 70 trillion cells. It's quite a masterpiece, our bodies. So we shouldn't be berating them and beating ourselves up on them. We should be thinking, wow, I'm absolutely fabulous. Who designed me? That's how you should be thinking about your fabulous body and what it can do for you, and all the things it can, you know, it lets you go walking, it lets you go playing and painting and whatever else you want to do. So yeah, give it some, what do you call it? Don't beat yourself up, just give it some gratitude and be grateful for what it does for you. So what was I going to, I was thinking about your purpose. And there was a little thing about this little honeybee, and somebody asking this honeybee, you know, what's your purpose? And the wee honeybees saying, well, you know, my purpose is to make honey. And I'm really good at making honey, and I'm good at collecting all this pollen. But, you know, if that wee bee had gone off to sit on a mountain like people do to go and find their purpose, how much honey would it be making? None, none. So don't be worrying if you don't know what your purpose is. Just follow your intuition. And then that little honeybee thinks that its purpose is only to make honey. But if you think about it, it's pollinating all the flowers, and without the bees, we wouldn't exist. So their huge purpose, you know, is much bigger than that little honeybee thinks. And our purpose can be whatever good we put out into the world. That's really important too. So, you know, just don't always be knocking ourselves down. And what else did I want to think about, to speak about? Yeah, just your, you know, our whole thing is we are on this journey. Life is a journey, and we have all this limitations that we've collected from childhood to fight our way through, basically. And it's like we have to try and overcome them and waking up and realize how godlike we are. We're made in the image of the universe or source, and to see how fabulous we actually are, rather than these limitations that we put on ourselves. So we need to overcome all that rubbish, and that's the journey, that's our life, basically. And we should see it as, if we just surrender to the faith of knowing where we're going, knowing what's coming, it would be like just going downstream instead of us all trying to paddle upstream and struggling the whole time. So, you know, and your purpose, if you just...
Mag is having too much fun.
I can't see her. What are you doing, Max? She's killing herself laughing. Are you laughing at me, madam?
No, my feet were cold, so I made Heba grab my slippers, which she did for me. And now she's so impressed with herself that she keeps jumping up on me.
Okay. Cool.
It's so funny.
Nice. Right. So yeah, your purpose and what you're doing with your life, basically follow your intuition. You know, if you don't know what your purpose is, some of you do know where you're going and what you want to do. But if you don't, then just what makes you feel good, what lights you up, because that's what you should be doing. We're never going to be successful with things that we feel it's a chore or it's heavy work. If we're loving what we do, and if that loving what we do serves other people, that's when we're going. That's what feeds our soul. So that's really what we want to be aiming for, because our soul, our spirit, loves two things that are its biggest aims, and one is growth. So we need to continually grow and overcome all these limitations. We need to grow every day. We need to be working, even if it's just little steps each day that we're taking. If you look back, you're a different person. So these little steps that we take each and every day, that's all growth. And the other thing that's important to our spirit or our soul is contribution, as I say, to give to other people. What gift have you got to give to other people? And I think if you're doing these things, then the universe will always come and help you deliver those. So the moral of all this goal thing is basically, yes, write them down and do them. You're not going to manage to manifest your big goals unless you actually take action. Nothing happens without action, but writing them down and doing them every day and feeling the outcome, feeling the end result. I choose the end result of whatever it is, feel into that every day. And the universe will try everything it can to manifest that for you. You know, synchronicities, meeting new people, talking to someone, something all falls into place. And then the other thing about stepping into the person, that big goal, what it is you're aiming to do, who's that person you need to become to attain that goal? That's what you want to be thinking about, not if you'll succeed in the goal and making it too easy. It's right, that's what I want. If that's what I want, who am I going to have to become to be that person? So you might need to be braver, you might need to be more self-assured, you might need to have much higher self-worth. So, you know, I mean, you just look at who do I need to become in order to get to that end goal.
Would that be quantum jumping? Would that be?
You can do that, yes.
Right.
Do that all you like, yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean, well, yeah, it is. I suppose it is. You're stepping into that later version of you. So yeah, it's quantum jumping, yeah. But just feel, it's the feeling rather than the seeing or whatever. It's stepping into how would that person feel? Would she stand like straight up? Would she be full of determination? Would she be a warrior woman? Whatever it is she would need to be, that's what you need to be asking. That's the question. Who would I need to become in order to attain that goal? That's the big question, rather than will I succeed in getting that goal, or is this goal attainable, or, you know, is it too big? Or that doesn't matter. If you just think about who do I need to become to attain that goal and feel into that, then that's the most important thing. And just remember that nothing is impossible. So, you know, it all depends on what we think is possible or not possible. Do you need the light on, darling?
No.
Okay. So yeah, bye. Nosy son. Yes, Manaz.
Oh, nothing.
I thought you were waving.
Oh no, I think playing with my hair or something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So those three things, basically having your goals, visioning, and looking at your purpose. And if you don't have your purpose already, if you don't know where you're aiming for, what your purpose is, then follow your intuition and make sure it's what you love doing. It feels good. It's not a chore. It feels good. That's what you want to be doing. So with that all said, let's think about our goals for the week. I'm a bit buggered because I got a word that I've got my art studio, and now I've tried to I tried to do my I choose the end result of today, and I'm like, I don't know if I've got time to do a holiday home and an art studio and an allotment. And I'm like, shit. So I don't know what my end result is about that one now. So I just chose selling my paintings. So yeah, I was a bit, oh, right, okay, that's all changed now. I do want my art studio and it's close, but what am I going to do with a holiday home? So big problem, isn't it? This manifesting. Makes you choose.
So be
Cool.
careful what you wish for, part.
Be
isn't it?
careful what you wish for. Yes, that's very true. That was
You know
my
what
first.
I did? I went all out last year without the proper tools, without you, to manifest a dream home in Scotland. And then, you know, I've got Ryan School, I've got our retreats, I've got all kinds of things set up, my sound bowls and everything. Well, I went out to dinner with Lee's boss / partner last night, because he's become his partner rather than his boss. And he was like, okay, let's do it in Scotland and we'll get this house. And I was like, I don't want that anymore. I've sorted stuff here. I was like, last year.
Be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Okay. Well, you have to change it to something else then that you do want. Right, folks. Right. Think about what we're